Team Supreme. Still so clean. Still so clean.
Yo, yo. Excuse me. Welcome back to the 343 TV stream. How is everybody doing? I'm in the chat too, so if you guys want to talk to me or say what's up, I will be looking at that. Welcome back. My name is Dane. I go by Great Dane, and I'm here to show you guys some tips and tricks on behalf of 343 TV. 343 is a dope music production school, and it's crazy because I live in New York, and like, you know, I've had this happen so many times where I go to like a coffee shop or something, and like they're like, oh, like, what do you do? And I'm like, oh, I'm like a DJ and I produce music and I teach at this school, and like instantly the first thing they do is pull out their phone and they're like, what's your Instagram? Like, I want to learn beats. And I'm like, let's go. So that happened to me today on the way here. So yeah, you guys are part of the squad already. You're ahead of the game. I didn't even run into you guys at a coffee shop and you're already here. So good stuff. Before we get started, starting to sound very New York. Before we get started, it is Black Friday pretty soon, and a lot of music stuff goes on sale, including the classes at 343. I teach, you know, a lot of classes at 343. I teach like Ableton, like beginner, advanced. I teach vocal production and arrangement, composition. So if you want to actually take a class with me instead of just watching the stream, there's a Black Friday sale this week, and I'm supposed to let you guys know that it's 35% off courses and 20% off course bundles until Sunday, the 28th. So go to 343labs.com for the details. And yeah, always good to get some deals on Black Friday for like, especially like plugins, and in this case, maybe like some classes. So hit that up, 343labs.com. And let's get started. Okay, I didn't scroll down. Now I'm seeing everybody talking in the chat. What's up, guys? Cool. What's up, Max? Big Boss Dog is here. Max, an enigmatic onion. Yeah, dude. Shows went great. Argentina. Wow. Damn. Bill's here. Martine is here. I think that's Simple Sam. What's good, everybody? The shows were good. I just got back from doing 3 shows back to back in Chicago, Denver, and Minneapolis. Not in that order, but those 3 cities. And they went super good. I think the first one was probably my favorite because it was like headline show, so it was more like, you know, my thing. But the other ones are like bigger, and it's always good to play in front of like a shitload of people. I don't know if I can cuss on here. I think I can cuss. This is YouTube, whatever. Yeah, it's cool to play in front of a lot of people and, you know, get my name in front of maybe some people who've never heard of me, and hopefully create some, you know, new fans out of it. And I think I did that. I mean, the Minneapolis one was probably my second favorite because that, I think I kind of like had to kind of get my feet on the ground with the Chicago one first and kind of understand what to do when you're opening for Boombox Cartel, which is like a very heavy like electronic act. So it's like, you know, you kind of have to like play to the crowd. I mean, at first I was like, oh, the crowd, like they don't know what's up, but it's like, no, that's not how it works. Like if I didn't do a good job, or if I kind of like wasn't holding certain people's attention, like that's on me. Like I'm a DJ. I should be like figuring out what happened or what went wrong. And like, I mean, I did a good job. I feel like it was kind of like just a big moment for me to be like, okay, do some research, like figure out what you need to be doing before you step on that stage every time, you know? So don't ever get, can't ever get complacent. You gotta just always know what you're doing when you walk up on that stage, no matter what the situation. So yeah. I saw something on your, oh yeah, yeah, we did a sound check. Someone said on the comments, I saw something on your IG about one of your filters being wonky. That was the last show, Minneapolis. So that was cool, because I kind of learned my lesson in Chicago by not going to sound check and just assuming it would be all good. And then there's a lot of problems with the sound. So Minneapolis, I did the sound check, and then what you're referencing is like when I did that sound check, I basically pressed the filter on the DJM 900, and excuse me, I pressed the filter on the DJM 900, and what's supposed to happen on the DJM 900 is you press the filter button, and then you either start turning the knob to the right or to the left. And if it goes to the right, you're going to be cutting off the low end and doing like a high pass filter. And if you go to the left, you're doing a low pass filter. So you're kind of like, or maybe I always get the wording mixed up for those. But basically, it's supposed to be neutral when you press the filter button. It should just like nothing should happen until you turn the knob. And on the 900 we had that was given to us, when you press the button, it instantly cut off all the low end. So that was kind of a problem because then it's, as soon as you press filter, it was like instantly it just, the button shouldn't do anything like right away. It should wait till you turn the knob. So that's the benefit of going to sound check, because we figured it out, and then they kind of fixed it. Well, they didn't fix it. They swapped it out for another mixer. And fun fact, it happened to that mixer as well mid-show, but it was cool. I kind of like figured out like what could I do to fix this mid-show, and I just thought like, when I'm playing a song on one channel, I'll just take out the cables in the back and put it in a different channel that hopefully the filter button doesn't do that on that channel. So got it fixed mid-show, just swapped out some cables, and it worked out. So yeah, pretty cool. Yes, very cold today. I think it's cold everywhere unless you're in California, but that's what I signed up for. I came to New York. I want to feel this brisk November weather. It's fun. It's fun for the first year. I'm sure it gets old, but right now I'm having fun with it. Use turntables instead. I don't know what that would change. I mean, you still need a mixer in the middle, right? So, I mean, maybe a different mixer. Yeah, I mean, I wish I could do vinyl. I think that'd be pretty badass if I could do either one. But it is what it is. Right now, I'm just a CDJ boy. I don't know. I consider myself more of a producer than a DJ because I don't spend a lot of time practicing DJing. I just spend a lot of time doing this, which is what we're about to do. Let's make some beats. I started this one in my class yesterday. Remember, this is a class. This is a school. You guys can come take classes. A lot of you guys already probably know that because you're here, but I just have to reiterate, we do a lot more than just streams. So yeah, I started this one in my electronic music composition class last night. I'm trying to think why we started this or like what it started with. I think it started with this sample, and so that's what it started with. Is just that I just chopped this up so it was a sample that essentially kind of did that, but I just made it kind of go on that beat. And yeah, I think it sounded pretty cool. And I added, I did the thing where what you do is you click convert harmony to new MIDI track, and Ableton will do its best to grab the harmonic information and put it into MIDI. So I did that. I'm kind of just giving you guys a rundown of what's already been done, because I'm going to move on and do some more stuff to it. What's up, Michael? Big Dog? I like when people call me Big Dog. I don't know when that started. Like, I've never been like, in none of my tracks or anything has ever been like Big Dog. I mean, one of them was, but it was so old that like I know that's not why it started, but like for some reason, like it's like a universal like Great Dane salute to be like, what up, Big Dog? I was like, I don't know. I think it's a good no one doesn't want to be called Big Dog. Yeah, so that's the harmonic thing that it attempted to it tried its best. It's frozen, so it's a little bit hard to see, but I think it did a pretty good job. It got the overall harmonic structure of what's happening, but really what I wanted was those big block chords. So I just sat there and kind of like, you know, if I show you my process for that, I'll just do it real quick. Yeah, so I essentially what I like to do when I'm trying to just get the gist of it is like grab like maybe like the first ones and just like drag them out, kind of like get them a little bit more. Hopefully you're not like overwriting anything. Yeah. And then just start like deleting stuff that's not really useful and try to get them closer to the same size. And let's see if I missed anything. Okay. And I can already tell like this is kind of unnecessary. Like I don't need it to be that high. Like I don't really want my MIDI to replicate the melody of this sample. All I want are the harmonic, like the structure of it. So what I'm doing is just trying to get like block chords out of it. So now that I have all these notes here, I might just, yeah, that's a good idea too. Turning on scale helps find bad notes. I like to do it kind of by ear because a lot of times with this kind of stuff, there are kind of crunchy notes that might not necessarily be in the scale. Also, I don't know what scale I'm in yet. I haven't really thought that hard about it. Probably B. I mean, B seems like the root, but so what? Yeah, like someone in the chat said, turn on scale. So let's see what happens if we put on B major. Yeah, that's actually a great idea. I mean, everything we've found so far is in there except for this one note, which is, yeah, I don't think that's ever going to be the right note because it seems like it only happens once for like 1 second. So great call. Yeah, and now when I get rid of it and fold it again, it worked. So I don't really, yeah, I think that's great hack. Another good hack would be like once you have, you know, close to the right, you know, notes, just go to your quantize and quantize it to a quarter note because that's like the largest, maybe the current grid. Maybe we can get larger. Let's see if we can do this grid. If I say current, let's say current grid and see if it lets me do it at this fatter. Oh yeah, cool. Even better. And now I'm just kind of like grabbing notes and doing like shift down to get kind of like the gist of what's happening. Because a lot of these notes are doubled, like they're playing them multiple times, right? Like E, is B, B, B. And that's fine. Like I'm not against having some doubles in there, but when it's like a double that's just like in a crazy high octave, it's kind of unnecessary. So essentially that's what I did. I sat here and I pretty much did what you just saw. And I'm going to just stop doing it because I already did it. I'll turn this track off. And this is kind of what it came, when I boiled it down to. Cool. And then, yeah, I mean, I still need to do more work to it, but basically I got from here and then I started doing kind of like a drop idea. So let's see what that sounds. So I'm just gonna work on it for a second. You guys have any specific questions? Yo, my sister's in here. Meredith, what's up? She was like, what are you up to? And I sent her the link to this. So shout out to my sister Meredith, great photographer in New York City. You guys need photos? She just did a dope press photo shoot with me. Maybe if we stick around long enough, maybe I'll show you some. I don't really use snares like this that often, but like I'm kind of just trying to test my theory that like I can make any snare good. You know what I mean? Like this one's good, but I think I just tend to like gravitate towards my like hip hop stuff. Like those might not work together, but I'm just gonna see what I can do to make them kind of fit. I'm doing like a Haas effect right now to like put the clap stereo. I don't know if I'm really gonna like. Why does that reverb sound so? No, I'm not feeling this snare at all, this clap at all. It's crazy because if you just like swapping out a snare or a clap can completely change your entire song. So let's try this one. I mean, that's really like light. See, I'm mixing at such a loud level right now that like it's hard for me to really see what's happening. So this is why I really like to, you know, mix with a lot of headroom. And right now you're kind of seeing the point in the song where I need to grab all the tracks and bring them back down and then start kind of like creeping everything back up again. That's like kind of my go-to move is like, you know, you start with a lot of headroom and then, you know, you're going to slowly, just by default, you're going to want certain things louder. And yeah, I kind of keep going around in a circle, basically like start with a lot of, you know, quiet tracks. And then like, let's say I want the kick really loud or I want the snare really loud and I'll start to bring those up. And then you'll start to kind of really slowly bring up like the synths and everything else. And you'll notice that like right now, when I want to hear a new snare, it's like nothing feels loud enough. So I'm going to grab everything and turn it back down evenly. And also that's a big reason why I never want you guys to automate these volumes right here. These volumes, I would just never automate them. If you want to automate something to be quiet or to like get quiet or get loud, use a utility, okay? Can't stress that enough. I've said it so many times, and I always see my students in classes just like nodding like, yes, we agree. And then they'll show me a project, and they'll have a bunch of these automated. And I look at this and I'm like, no, not good. Because then we can't do what I want to do right now, which is grab everything. We'll use this kick as my like guide. And we'll go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sure, 7. Let's go 7 dB down. So now everything I'm listening to is 7 dB quieter, but it's like evenly quieter. It's all the same level of quieter. So now I can like kind of do it again. I can kind of go back down that rabbit hole of like, you know, making certain things louder, like, because it's all relative, right? Now this kick feels much bigger than everything else because if I put this back at -2, it's 5 dB louder than everything else, like where it used to be in the mix, right? And like another thing you can do is like once you turn things down, or once you EQ things like more, aggressively, like now that this mid-range thing is, I'm basically neutering it a little bit. I'm kind of like taking out a lot of that weight from the middle of it. But once I do that, I can turn it all up louder because then I have more space to, this can be louder when it's not quite as heavy. So it's always just kind of a balancing act of like volume versus EQ versus compression. Like those are the three things that I'm always kind of like balancing to be like, which of those three things is going to do the job that I want at this moment, Because in theory, like I should be able to make this snare, this little tiny snare that's not that loud, that's kind of like, it's probably not going to be my snare, but because I have so much more headroom, this could feel really big, even though it's so small. This might end up just being like a layer. Sorry, let me look at the chat real quick. So yeah, I see someone said, so I know Enigmatic Onion. I know you told me your name last week, but it's hard to remember when that's your like avatar. So I'm gonna just keep calling you Enigmatic Onion. I think it's like Roger, or let me know what your name is again. But anyways, he said, I'd love it if you do a stream on remixes sometime. Yeah, remixes are one of my favorite things to do and to like teach, because I think it's like the easiest way to kind of like learn production, because you kind of have a framework already. Like when you remix a song, you don't need to like completely start from scratch and like write all the music. You kind of just have to build cool drums and synths around the existing song. And I think as beginner producers, or like, producers who are trying to like make a name for themselves, you definitely want to be doing remixes, because remixes are like the quickest way to get noticed. Because, when you're starting out, you don't want to like, I did tons of remixes when I started out, because you can't just assume that people want to hear what you have to say. Like if you're just some guy or some girl, like you need to give people a reason to be like, oh, I care about this new person that I've heard of, this like 100 millionth artist that I've ever heard ever. Why are they special? Or like, why do I care? And a lot of times they don't care. So you have to like remix something they do care about, remix a Drake song, remix something like something they know already. Because when you remix something that people know, you have a built-in audience for that song. Like, I'm not saying they're going to like it, but I'm just saying like, if you remix popular stuff, it's a great way to get noticed in like the general sense of like, saturated music producer marketplace, I guess. Like now I'm talking like a business guy, but like that's really what I think is like, and it's really never a bad idea. Like I should still be doing remixes more. I just kind of like got lazy, and not lazy, but at some point I feel like my output to the world, like even if I need to be more ambitious. I think if I do more remixes, I'll get to like another level up of like, people knowing who I am. But I just choose to spend more of my time writing original music, because it fulfills like my soul a little bit more. But it's kind of a cop out. I think I should be doing both. Everyone should be doing both. So yeah, let's do remixes next week. I think that's a great idea. We'll start with maybe like a bootleg. And I've done a bootleg stream, maybe not for 343. I've done it before. I did it maybe it was in person in the school. If you guys live in New York or East Coast, we have a school here. I teach there 4 days a week right now. So you just check it out, 343labs.com. Come through, come say what's up. Come show me some beats. Really cool community over there. I'm teaching some really like very cool students right now. Like I have like people that are kind of like all over the spectrum of like beginners to like really advanced. And I love hearing like music from, you know, new people, because it's amazing how diverse everybody's like taste is, you know. Like I'm making a future based beat, but like this isn't really like necessarily like the only thing I make. And you know, when you meet new students and you meet new people, like it's like, oh, that's what you're making. Wow, like you look like you would be making like something completely different, but you never know what's going on in people's heads. So that's one of my favorite things about like teaching music. Original music versus remixes. Yeah, could do both. Definitely do both. You know, doing remixes of stuff that you like will probably help you find your sound a little bit more, because you know you're already in the realm of something that's in your like view of like taste that you like, and then hopefully you can kind of like hone your production around that to be more, you know, different than the original in a way that's like you finding your sound. All right, let's get back to this track. Also, you could start a beat that's an original like this and then, you know, be like, you know what, this will pop off way harder if I put an acapella over it. So like, as long as it's in the right key, it should work. I just have to warp it. These are not the most relevant acapellas in the world, but
Soldier boy, tell him, hot up at the bed.
sure. Try that one.
Soldier boy, tell him. Soldier boy, tell him, hot up at the bed. Hot up at the bed. Hot up at the bed.
I'm gonna warp it real quick.
Hot up at the bed. Turn my sweat. Hot up at the bed. Hot up at the bed, turn my swag on. Took a look in the mirror, said, what's up, what's up? Yeah, I'm getting money.
Sounds about right. 150. Set 1.1. Warp 150. Acapellas are definitely like the hardest thing to warp because there's no like drums to use, but you just have to kind of like use your ears. Like,
Hot up at the bed, turn my swag on.
this is a really good acapella.
Took a look in the mirror, said, what's up,
Like
what's
really
up?
clean.
Yeah, I'm getting money. Oh, hot up at the bed, turn my swag on.
Like it's tempting to want to be like, okay, let me just move this here so it's exactly on the grid. But just remember, we're not dealing with kicks right now. We're dealing with Soulja Boy's voice, right? So these little, you know, these little hash marks, these transient markers, that's what they're technically called. They're transient markers. They're just kind of like, they're just Ableton finding like the peak of the, of like a one piece of audio, like the dynamic range. It's finding like the little spot where it's like, okay, that's the beginning of the sound, like the beginning / loudest part of the beginning of the sound. But it's a guy's voice. It's not a kick drum. So you don't really want people's voices to be like right on the downbeat. You want to just listen. If it sounds like it's still on the beat, then you're good.
Hot up at the bed, turn my swag on. Took a look in the mirror, said, what's up, what's up? Yeah, I'm getting money.
So this one's a little more maybe like obvious, like like the certain words will sound a little bit more like
Money.
Also, just doing them more spaced out is a good idea, because like if I would have done one here and here and here and here, like the whole thing's going to start contracting in weird ways. Like the whole audio is going to like contract all weird. So doing less is better, because you kind of like, you find like the middle ground of it, basically. Let's see what's over here.
I got a question, why they hating on me? I got a question, why they hating on me? I ain't did nothing to them, but count this money and put my team on.
Put my team. The P is definitely a really helpful one. P.
Put my team on, got my whole clique stunning.
Okay, that's plenty. That's like enough to work with. Let's just cut this and just remember that like there's more, but okay, let's put the track back at the right speed, 130. It's almost in the right key too. I mean, this is pretty tight. Okay, this is pretty cool actually. And like, this proves my point, right? Like, this beat is cool, but if I can really like make this stupid Soulja Boy acapella work, it will probably get heard by more people. I mean, depending on where I put it out, hopefully if it doesn't get taken down on SoundCloud, like if it actually, that's the hard part is like nowadays it's really hard to like get away with, you know, like back in the day you could put out whatever you wanted and it would blow up and get millions of views and then you'd start your whole DJ career off of it. But these days you do have to be a little bit more strategic where you put it. I mean, honestly, just like a TikTok with it could blow you up. But I'm not really concerned with that right now. I'm just trying to make the most dope thing possible. And yeah, I think just like my point is that way more people know who Soulja Boy is than they know who Great Dane is. So if I make a good remix, it has the potential to reach a lot more people than just an original song, unfortunately, until I'm as big as Soulja Boy, basically. Which will happen. All right.
Turn my swag on. Took a look in the mirror, said, what's up, what's up? Yeah, I'm getting money. Oh, I hopped up at the bed. Turn my swag on. Took a look in the mirror, said, what's up? Yeah, I'm getting money.
Okay, let's put a real snare in there. Actually, let me take a break and just kind of talk to you guys for a sec. I think I want to take like a halftime break. If you just kind of joined, or I know I've been plugging the school a lot, but I mean, that's kind of the point of these things is like you guys get some free help, some free, you know, look at like how I produce and stuff. And then, you know, we gotta let you know we're teachers. We teach at 343. Like that's where we want you guys to be, is like come through and teach, like show us what you got, show us your beats. You know, I think teaching music has been a huge asset to me as a producer. Like, it's kind of like a two-way street. I learn a lot from the students. Hopefully they learn a lot from me as well. And, you know, I'll do one more plug and I'll stop plugging it. But 35% off courses and 20% off course bundles until Sunday, the November 28th. It's like a Black Friday thing. So 343labs.com. That's where you got to go. All right, no more plugs. Let's talk. Let me look at the chat. Anybody else say anything or have anything to say or questions, comments, concerns? Supposed to represent the one. Okay, definitely hard to rap. I'm going to read through your chat a little bit. Josh. Okay, I thought your name was Roger. I got the O right. I knew there was an O involved. Josh. I can't promise I'm gonna remember that again. I'm gonna try. Enigmatic Onion is just such a like curveball, you know. It's like, what is that? Who is that? What is that? What does that mean? What did you come up with that? What's the #1 song on the charts right now? Yeah, great idea. Go look that up. Go look up the top 10 songs on the charts right now. Make 10 remixes. You know, kind of like throw your fishing line out, see which one blows up. Hopefully one of them gets some numbers, and then people know who you are a little bit more. That's a great idea. Using the utility and not automating track level. Yeah, definitely huge. No, don't automate your track level. Gucci Mane. I don't know. I just stuck with this one. As a new producer, I'm trying to do a remix every other track I release. Yeah, great idea. I mean, remixes will definitely help you a lot at the beginning of your music output career. What synth are you using? This is Serum. This is just I can show you a little bit of what it's doing. It's pretty simple. It's just like a very oh no. This always happens. It's always like the second time I open Serum, it comes into my bottom screen here, and then I can't find, like, I can't grab the top of it and then move it up. So I got to figure out why that happened. It doesn't happen the first time. It always happens the second time. So I guess I can't show you. I can screenshot it maybe. I don't know. Unless you guys have any ideas. It's basically just very, very simple, basic saw wave. Oh, you guys aren't seeing my Ableton session right now. Yeah, it's not not anything crazy. It just has 7 voices. And let me just actually screenshot it. And yeah, Serum is my go-to too. I wish I knew more about Massive, because I love the way Massive sounds, but I just kind of started with Serum and kind of like never looked back. But yeah, this is so weird. I can't drag my, oh, it's because my Ableton is in full screen. Oh, now I can actually drag the real, oh, this is yeah, this is the real one. I can't tell if this is a screenshot or actual Serum. Hard with this giant light in my face. Okay, cool. Yeah, this is what it looks like. You know, there's probably a lot more I could do to it. I haven't really gotten deep into it yet, but it sounds surprisingly pretty good, just for being, you know, sometimes the simplest answer is the best one. So until it starts bugging me, I'll just keep listening to that. That's usually my go-to move, is just, you know, this is like me writing with, yeah, like just, it's crazy because sometimes I'm listening to like the same loop for like an hour or 30 minutes, but I'm constantly listening to different parts of it. I'm not listening to everything at once. I'm listening to, like, right now I'm listening to the snare. Like, I need to fix this snare for sure. And I'll just turn off the, we could try to really build a snare like from scratch. And by scratch, I mean not from scratch. I mean like layer lots of minimal things to become one big snare. Like we could put this on the right pitch. This might work, this might not work, but let's try. Glue these together. Snare 2. Maybe we could layer in the original snare. Maybe. Kind of just trying different combos out. Maybe like some sort of a metal feeling. Dane, I noticed you automated the volume in Serum. What's the difference when you automate the filter with an LFO? Yeah, I do. Sometimes I do both. Sometimes I'll just do one. So the volume in Serum is going to be, I think I actually figured out how to fix this little Serum problem. Okay, so okay, here we go. So the volume right now, it's Bill's asking, you know, this LFO is only going to the level right here, which is the volume of oscillator A. And he's asking, what's the difference between that and the filter? And the difference is that one is volume and one is filter. So like you could do both for sure. Like this would be, the reason I kind of avoid this is because it starts to sound a little bit, I don't know. I think that sometimes I will do both. I mean, a lot of times I'll try both, but this one is going to feel more future bassy. So right now it's doing both. It's doing volume and filter, which is cool, but I definitely think there's a different, there's a whole different like vibe when it's just the volume. So it's like you're kind of just building the sound. So I don't know, and there's nothing wrong with doing either one. I just personally, this one feels a little dated to me. Like this one feels like kind of like 2012 future bass. And I think this one just more like dry, just sounds a little bit more like universal. Like it doesn't really remind me of like an older time, you know? It still kind of sounds good. Like it still kind of works, but definitely like always try to like, I kind of always go back and forth between like listening to it really reverbed out and really dry. So you want to kind of find that sweet spot. sometimes a lot of people will do like, you know, I'm just trying to find like sweet spots like where it kind of like works, but it's cool to put like a utility on here as well. And there's nothing wrong with doing like really aggressive like muting. And then we can do like reverb sends and stuff. Like, let's do. Oops. Sounds pretty cool. It just tightens it up, you know, it's like a little bit more just like aggressive. That's kind of cool. Yeah, I like this minimal snare. It's kind of cool. And then let's do like a reverb send, like in these gaps. The way I like to do reverb sends is I think I might have did this last week, but I like doing, I mean, in this case, maybe just use the utility as one chain and then do a reverb on another chain and have this one be super long reverb, super 100% wet. Put a saturator on it, maybe EQ it a little bit. Like maybe like 15 saturator drives, so it just gets super loud, but we're just gonna mess with this volume here. So like when the other one gets quiet, like when the utility gets quiet, like let's put this on a plus so we can look at it, and then look at this one as well. This volume here. And fill in this little empty gap with big swell. I'm just setting this all up ahead of time before I even listen because I know that reverb's going to be really aggressive. Try like that. Gotta be careful so you don't like blow out the speakers, but Yeah. This shit is hard. I just turned up my monitor. Yeah, I was mixing all that really quiet actually. Now that I'm cranking it up, it's like it's actually hitting the way I want it to, but it's save. I mean, this snare's cool, but I know eventually I'm gonna want to more popping. Like, I'm just more of a clap guy. I like claps. And be like, splice it in different claps. I like that lag. I like how long it took for that clap to hit. Maybe this could be like a... Yeah, mixing quietly, it took me so long to get to that point, but I think it's definitely good to do both, like definitely go back and forth, but if you can get the mix to sound good quiet, it will definitely sound good loud. Can you show how you did the fill roll on the second and fourth beat? Yeah, I just zoomed in. You mean on the snare? Sorry, I'm just getting distracted. Where is it? It's like, oh, it's up here. Yeah, so I took the same audio. If you hold Option, you can duplicate it. And then I knew I wanted like da 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 da. So first I did like that, like that, da da da. But then I just zoomed in, and if you hold Command, you can like chop up the audio even tighter. So I could even like just have each one be like its own little length. Almost like start small and like grow a little bit. But when you holding Command is really nice to like drag things off the grid. It works like this, but it also works like moving things around as well. So yeah, hopefully that answered your question. It sounds pretty lit for not having any hi-hats. Let's just cheat and put a loop on it just to see what it sounds like. Ah, that's a drill one though. We don't want that. Yeah, it's always hard because every time I do hats, like I do like that sort of rhythm, and then it's like, well, that's gonna be cool for like the second half, but what do you do in the first half? You know, like it's like. Dun, dun. Hey, thanks, bro. The chords just get fatter and fatter. Yeah, so I think I'll probably end it there. But I mean, the next step I would do is probably more chops, like more, you know, the similar stuff to what I did to this mid thing, like how I muted it, like with this drop with utility. So like basically take that and like extrapolate that and do it to other stuff too, like even like on the master, like you could, like if you want to really get aggressive with it, like we could resample the whole master, or just, I don't like to mess with my master. Maybe like you could do like stuff like this where you kind of like resample it. Like, let me see if I have a tape stop. I need a tape stop. These are sick though. That's not what I meant to do, but like, let me resample this real quick. That's not exactly what I'm going for, but you know what I mean? Like really aggressive, really aggressive types of stuff like that, where you kind of just take everything you've done, put it together and just resample it and just use the sampled version as like the new thing. You know what I mean? Like have it. Okay. What if I did that plus a reverb send? I think if I just maybe did, I don't know. This is going to take too long. You can imagine like basically this empty gap, like the reverb kind of like sweeps us in, you know? It's a little random, but stuff like that is cool. Like, I mean, I definitely need to work on it more, but yeah, I think that'll do it for today. 343labs.com. Go hit it up. If you guys have any last minute things, I'll check the chat. Yeah, thanks, Bill. Thanks a lot. Yeah, I mean, been a pleasure. I'll see you guys, I think next week. I'm not sure if we have next week off. Just check the website and stuff. But yeah, 343labs.com. Come through. Yeah, much love. Thanks for coming. Later, guys.